myself, what a wonderful world.
Hi, and happy March, new moon. I wanted to just pop in and share some thoughts about the new moon, and really today about self care. Because what I've come to realize is that the new moon is kind of like the new year. And when you follow the lunar calendar and kind of shift your awareness to noticing something as subtle and beautiful as the moon, that there's a couple of things that feel a little different that you might notice. One is there's multiple times a year that we get this feeling of something new, something, an opportunity for new possibilities, a clearing, a blank slate, as I've said in the past. And that really gives us a sense of abundance because whatever didn't happen as we planned for it, whatever didn't go our way, whatever challenges we had, whatever disappointments we have had, that every year, every month, and as opposed to once a year, we get this opportunity to start and feel fresh and feel renewed and feel like it's a new moment. And so there's no need to like wait till the end of the year where we have multiple upon multiple thousands possibly of things that we want to get rid of and shake off and let go of. And so this shift to noticing and following the lunar calendar is really a great opportunity to feel more abundant in our lives and feel like there's more opportunities to do this kind of clearing and opening and just anything. Like really feel like there's more opportunities in your life than we realize. And in a way, that's just a realization. Like it's always there, but sometimes we have to have like a calendar or a celebration or something that says we can celebrate this. But on the inside, like, no, this is so possible to like clear yourself actually every day, every evening. So this lunar shift to take a little bit more time to clear and celebrate and really care for ourselves. So, in living this abundance, it's really an opportunity and shift to live a little bit more deeply. Like the more space that we create inside of us, the more deeply we actually can feel that we're living our life more engaged, more fulfilled, really feeling the more of everything. And so it's kind of like as though we've been living in this world with gloves on, and like we take off our gloves and we're like, oh, that's what velvet feels like. Oh, that's what hair feels like. Oh, that's what cotton balls feel like. Oh, like we're when we make this shift to like the lunar calendar or just noticing things like the moon, it's not like it was never there. It's always been there. We just never noticed it, or we never really paid as much attention as we can now. So, this opportunity to live a little bit more deeply and to reflect on our lives and take some time, like instead of zoning out and tuning out, tune in and reflect on what's been going on in your life. What feelings have you been feeling? What can you celebrate? What's been going really easy that you didn't even know was happening in your life that you can really give thanks for and feel a lot more gratitude, because there's a lot of things that are not going so easily, but those tend to take up more of our attention and more of our time. So I really encourage us at this new moon to just take some time to reflect on the last month at least. And if you feel like that's a lot, reflect on the last week and perhaps even the last day. But do take some time to think about what's been going on in your life. And as we think about self care, I just wanted to give some meaning to the word care, because sometimes we're like, oh, I'll just go to a spa or, treat myself to watch a movie, and that's great. But let me just offer a little insight into what I think could be very powerful and profound care of ourselves. think of C as the word courage, and the courage to live deeply, and the courage to really feel what's going on in our lives, and the courage to take time. And maybe that means that you have to tell someone, like, I can't do that for you, because maybe you don't even tell them why, but because I'm taking care of me. Like the courage to set boundaries, the courage to give yourself generously time and attention, and notice what you need. And that courage has ripple effects, because as you take courage for taking a stand for yourself, you really start to do that in other places in your life, and whether that's at work or in your relationships, you really know what it feels like to take care of yourself, and then you take care of yourself in more and bigger ways. So have courage to really know what does it take to take time and give generously to yourself, because when we fill ourselves up fully and even overflowingly, we have so much more to give, and that is felt by the people around us, and that actually is a huge difference from when we're giving from an empty tank, and when we're not taking care of ourselves. We get resentful, we get hurt, we get sensitive, we get um, so we take things too personally because we just don't have the resources to work things out. So really think about, what does it take to be courageously caring for ourselves? And the second letter, A, is absolve. Absolve yourself. And what that means is to really set yourself free from blame, guilt, and responsibility, because we take on so much. Um, and I'm not saying be irresponsible, and I'm not saying blame other people, and I'm not saying just live life like you don't even care. What I'm saying is absolve yourself from what didn't get done and start anew. That's the thing about the new moon. It's like a new blank slate, right? Absolve ourselves from what we did wrong, and absolves ourselves from what we did that could have been done differently, and live in a way that feels a lot more freed up. Because one of the things about stress is that, we hear there's good stress, and all animals, all species experience stress, right? So like when a deer is being chased by a lion, like that deer is experiencing a lot of stress to like run away really fast. There's adrenaline, like the muscles are working. But if you look at nature, and there's actually some videos called, I think it's called like the Shake Off, Animals Shake Off. And what they see in nature is that when animals experience stress of being chased by a predator, they run, they get away, and if they survive, they actually just shake it off, and then they just go back to what they're doing. But humans experience stress, we experience deadlines, missed deadlines, other people's pressure, we experience whatever, you name it, we experience stress. But we have this capacity for memory, and so we keep on holding on to that experience, and we stay in a state of stress for longer. And so when we're in the state of stress, we're actually generating we continue to generate the adrenaline, we continue to, tense our muscles, we continue to live in this state of stress for longer, and that puts a big toll on our system. And this is part of the self-care, is absolve yourself. Absolve ourselves from all the stuff, all of the things that we did wrong, the things that have happened, and then on that clear blank slate, like list, how am I going to proactively deal with this, and this, instead of from that reactionary, stressed out perspective. Go at your life from a blank slate, like everything's possible, and notice if that feels a little different. R in care is to reflect, And a lot of this work is reflecting. And you could do that through journaling, you could do that through talking with a friend and really reflecting, like, how did this month go? How did this week go? How did this day go? I encourage you to find someone to do that with, because when we look back, we can actually learn from what happened, even if it wasn't perfect. Like, I'm not saying reflect back and pat ourselves on the back and just be like, oh yeah, we did great. And if we can't pat ourselves on the back, like, look at that and what can I learn? Because that's powerful. That, I think many leaders have said that the look back is as important as planning, because you learn what didn't go right and what can we change in the future. Really course correcting, like, oh, this didn't go well and I can see now why, and I'm going to change courses and maybe get more help, maybe delegate, maybe try a different tactic, or even just let go of something that wasn't working anymore. Like, let yourself reflect and make a new course and plan for what's going to go on. And that's big care for yourself. And then lastly is evaluate. And the E in CARE is for evaluate. And in addition to this reflecting, like, really evaluate what is it that could make the next month, the next week, the next day a little bit better. And so that's where I really have us call in help and support, and call in moments that we can really celebrate. Take care. Seriously, take care of yourself. You are the most important instrument to live this life.
And I think to myself,